Okay, what's up there, guys? So this is the Wingsland S6 selfie drone app run, but they do now have a transmitter for this that looks a lot like the DJI Spark transmitter. It's the R6 transmitter, which can be purchased on eBay for around $100. I will consider getting it later, but right now we're going to check out this little beauty. I know that when this first dropped, it had a lot of problems. Now, Stephen Merritt sent this to me, so very awesome. Thank you very much, Stephen. This is a 13 megapixel 4K camera. The lowest resolution this can shoot in is actually 1080 at 60. So this thing has a very, very good camera on it. It has optical flow. It also has sonar sensor, fold out legs, fold out props. This thing actually looks very cool. Now the downside is, my understanding is that this really only gets around an 8-minute flight time, maybe 10. Now I haven't looked into batteries yet to find out if they have any upgrade batteries, but as of right now, this is a very sleek, cool, nice looking unit. I know that when they first dropped this, none of the sensors worked properly, so they ended up calling this edition the Outdoor Edition. Now when I did get it from Steven, I immediately had to actually make 2 upgrades to the flight board, software updates to the flight board, and I also need to do a camera upgrade on it, it's telling me, which I believe might actually offer stabilization, kind of like the Bebop. We'll get into that at a later date. I just want you guys to have a look at this thing, man. It is very sleek. You can actually pick one of these up right now, the orange edition, for $146 on eBay. When this thing dropped, man, it was close to $550. So very cool little unit, very nice. We're going to use it on my cell phone. I tried it out yesterday in beginner mode, which was very slow. So I have it actually set for medium today, and I don't have the camera update yet, so we don't know what features the new camera update's going to offer, but it came with this sleek little pocket case, and this thing is cool, man. There's no doubt about it. This is an awesome little pocket drone. Like I said, I know that they have been really hashing out the issues with these, but they are very affordable right now. So for any of you guys considering it, you can pick one of these up for $146. I will supply the link below. All right, guys, barely any wind. Finally got a soccer field to play with here. This is going to be the first flight of the Wingsland S6. Waiting for it to get set up. I have now done the camera update for the firmware, and I have also done 2 flight controller updates for this. And they say that this has fixed the majority of the problems. So for everyone that was saying that this is not good, it got really crappy reviews, the company has gone back and apparently tried to fix the majority of the sensor issues this thing had out of the hole to make it better. After a little research, I did find out it has IES stabilization for the camera, which is actually not nearly as good as the Bebop. It just kind of removes a lot of the shakiness. Like if it was to get pummeled by wind and oscillations would take place, it can remove a lot of that kind of stuff. It makes the footage look smooth, but like I said, when you're tilting, you're gonna see a lot of that stuff. It's gonna look a little bumpy. So the idea is to be as smooth as possible with your filming. So let's go ahead and get this set up here. Wi-Fi good, I'm connected. We're going to open the Wingsland app. Today we're not going to play with any of the other features on it. We're just going to take it for a flight, and I'll probably test return to home. So yes, let's go to go fly. Go to fly. Without propeller guards, we're going to do settings. Let's flight speed. I'm going to set it as highest because it says you can only travel. The fastest it can go running on your phone's Wi-Fi is 2.5 meters, which is not very fast. So go ahead and close those settings. There we go. All right, I currently have 10 satellites connected. We're going to switch this over to video format. It is streaming in 720p. Okay, and I have found the camera actually does a very good job streaming to the phone. It says I have 100% battery. I do have smart features active. However, I'm not going to use any of those. The only thing we're going to test is how it flies with the phone. I know a lot of people don't like virtual joysticks. I don't mind them so much. They're not great because I love to have physical controls in my hands, but it's something I can definitely deal with. So We currently have 10 satellites. I can go in the air, and the cool thing about this drone is that it not only can run on the US satellites, but it also has the setup for GLONASS. So this thing actually, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it sucked, it sucked, it sucked. The company went back and did a lot of work to this thing. It has a ton of technology in this little bird for $146. It's actually kind of crazy. So anyways, guys, let's get this thing in the air and see how the GPS stability is. I now have 11 satellites. We should be plenty good enough to take off. I'm going to go ahead and hit the takeoff button. Please confirm to auto takeoff. Yes, and I'm going to start recording. That looks pretty stable to me. Very, very stable GPS lock. What do you guys think, man? Little bit of fluctuation in altitude, but I have to say that's an incredibly stable GPS lock. 146 bucks. Wouldn't even think twice. All right, let's turn this thing over this way. There we go. And let's send her on a bit of a trip here. I'm going to take her up in altitude a bit. All right, let's give her some forward pitch here. Go ahead and lean right. There we go, good FPV. Nice and solid. I'm going to take her down there a ways. Still got FPV. Alright, let's go ahead and turn around here. Alright, straighten this out a bit. There we go. Pushing forward. See where it's at here. Is it flyable with the phone? Absolutely. Very much so. Do a little bit of yawing this way. Turn it a bit here. There we go. Take it up and over the net. That is top speed of this drone currently. So that is at its fastest settings. This thing was obviously meant to take aerial footage, and that was about it. Let's go ahead and stop right there. Go ahead and turn around. And turn around the rest of the way here. There we go. Alright guys, from this point right here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit return to home and see what happens. You guys ready? Return to home, activate, yes. Let's see how it does. There it goes, it's shooting upwards. It's turning around. Let's see what it's going to do. Here we go, it's coming back. Footage looks good. It's coming back, excellent. It's doing great. Should take off, should land about right here. There she comes. Wow. Wow. This thing is awesome. Just super, super stable. Look at that. Bam. This is an impressive little bird. I still have 40% battery. I'm impressed. I am impressed. Alright, let's stop that recording. I'm going to go ahead and start another recording, and because we do have a little battery power left, I'm going to go ahead and bump this thing up in the air, and we're going to go ahead and see if I can do a point of interest before the battery dies. I think I've got enough room to play out here. It's not very windy, it's perfect. Let's see if we got enough battery to get this thing up in the air. I'm going to start recording again. Take off. Boy, look at that. It is just a beautiful little machine. So here's what we're going to do. To set a point of interest, I still got 40% battery. You would walk right up to it, wait till it settles, give it a chance to settle. There we go. We're going to go ahead and activate point of interest. Yes. All right. So now here's what you do. You pull back on the stick, and wherever you let go is where it's going to start its point of interest. See? It's going to start slowly going around. So let me actually walk into frame here to make sure I stay in it good. That's excellent. Flight battery is now low. It's doing a perfect point of interest, man. That is savage. I'm so glad they corrected all the problems with this. All right, let's exit this. It's gonna force land itself here in a second. So, all right, let's go ahead and just land it. Yes. What do you guys think? I think the Wingsland S6 is an absolute little animal. All that stuff that it was originally doing that everybody was complaining about, it would appear they have solved all those problems. This is a fantastic little selfie drone now. I am very impressed by it. Like I said, in windy conditions, guys, in windy conditions, the barometer still has a tendency to want to go up and down. Day like this, functions amazing. Incredible, just incredible. The fastest you can go with your phone without buying the transmitter is 2.5 meters per second. But that was the first look at the Wingsland S6. There are more videos coming, future updates for this thing. We're going to continue talking about this because this thing impressed me just now. I was very, very impressed by this little bird. It just feels like quality. It's crazy how thick this feels. It just feels like absolute quality. I'm so glad that Wingsland kept at this, and I really hope that they continue with more feature updates for this unit. I would love to see a little better stabilization. IES stabilization is okay. It just kind of gets rid of some of the shaky cam effect. It doesn't really get rid of like if I was to tilt, you're gonna see that. But if it was kind of oscillating in the wind like this a little bit, if you were just kind of seeing it do that, it can get rid of a majority of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to tilting, it's not that good yet. But I do have to admit, Steven, this thing is awesome, brother. That is the first flight, first look, return to home, GPS, point of interest. This thing is wicked, man. It functions well. Surprisingly, if you do the updates and you get everything set up, good to go. All right, guys, John Worship, I'm out. Toodaloo.